Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we are going to start coverage of a game called Hexcells. I'm going in pretty much blind on this. We have a logo here in the corner, we have a music thing here that seems to uh, mute, but otherwise that's all I know. I think when I got this game on sale, it was supposed to be something kind of like a uh, different way of playing something sort of like Minesweeper. So paper puzzles instead of 3D environmental puzzles like The Witness or The Room, which we just covered The Room. So I mean, here we are going into it, we don't even know. But it looks like what we've got here is several puzzles here, maybe some more. Now, either my eyes are freaking out like crazy. No, it's not my eyes. It's the background is putting little white Hexcells like all moving around here. You might even have trouble seeing it. But yeah, it's putting some white on white Hexcells that seem to indicate there might even be more. Let's start with 1-1. We're gonna just go for 30 minutes each episode, seeing what we can do. Here we go. Remove orange hexes to reveal the pattern underneath. The number is an empty hex. The number in an empty hex tells you how many adjacent hexes are part of the pattern. Left click to mark the hex as part of the pattern, right click to destroy the hex that aren't part of the pattern. So pretty much that means that this is just like Minesweeper. And empty hex tells you how many things are part of the pattern, as in our mines. So we have 6 pieces here, so each 6 of these are mines. You don't want to click on those. Yeah, this is just Minesweeper, isn't it? I was really bad at Minesweeper until I realized there was a trick to it. And then right click to destroy hexes that aren't part of the pattern. So in Minesweeper, you can right click on an empty one when it's 0, and it will just automatically right click on all the ones around it. But so we know here there's none of these it's touching. This is going to be easier than Minesweeper actually, because it's potentially touching 6 things instead of touching well, actually it might be a little bit more difficult, because when they were squares in Minesweeper you could potentially touch 8. Yeah, because you could be surrounded by 8 instead of 6. Yeah. So we know these zeros are all not part of the pattern. Nice little music there. Unfortunately, no real adjustment for the audio level. Well, we know that's a 0. And so then we left click to mark it as part of the pattern. So that's the only one right there that was part of that pattern at all. And then all 6 of these are part of this pattern. There we go. So 0 mistakes gives us 1 blue Hexcell. I assume this button will take us back to the main menu. I assume if we go back here, there's no reason not to. There's no reason to do it again. You still have to mark everything as wrong here, and you don't get another thing. So once you've perfected the puzzle, there's no reason to ever play it again. So this should just take us to the next one. This isn't going to take too long at all. It's just going to be a matter of marking all the right things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means this is no good, and then this is good, and then this one is touching too, so these are here. The most difficult part so far of what I've seen on this is simply going to be remembering the right mouse button and the correct mouse buttons. Let's see. It almost feels like the mouse button should be backwards. There we go, there we go. There we go there. This one here only is touching 2, so those 2 have to be it. Uh-oh. Almost a guess here. This one here is only touching 2, so this one has to be it, which means this one isn't it. But getting a little bit more trickier. I wonder how difficult this is gonna get. This guy's only touching 4, so is there really a pattern you would want to choose here? Like looking for the bigger numbers or something like that? I don't know. I would bet there probably isn't. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. So that's no good. Here's a problem. They've thrown a new curveball in here. We will only know if this is a mine or not by the number that are remaining. Interesting. On top of that, it charged me for a mistake when I marked something as a mine, when in Minesweeper you wouldn't have been charged for that. If you mismark something as a mine in Minesweeper, it doesn't care. It just opens you up to the potential of not making a mistake and not solving it. So these 2 are still a big question. This one can't be it. So there are 2 remaining, so we have to assume that's it. And I made one mistake, so I might as well just go back and adjust. What's weird here is you kind of know the solution if you remember. So yeah, it kind of goes in a bit of a strange direction this way. It's a little unbalanced on this pattern. Wish it was more balanced. 0 here. That means this one has to be. That means that. And then that means now that that's cleared, we know those are that. And this one's touching 1 here, which means that's that, and that's that. No mistakes. So that's. No mistakes didn't change anything. It seems like you got the same number of pieces either way. But this feels like it's a game that's short enough that it makes sense to solve it all. touching 2 there. So that's 1. That means that's not 1. And with this 4, then we know this one and this one is 1. There's 1 here. This one here is touching 4. And geez, if you get 4 gone in one fell swoop, you can practically clear out the board pretty easily. So this one's touching 3, so that has to be 1. This one's only touching 2, which means these 2 are gone. That's touching 3 right there, that means this is gone. And so since this one is touching 2, we know that's that. And since there's only 2 remaining, and this is touching 4 and 4 need to be made, and this one's touching 3 and 3 need to be made, we know that both of these are part of the pattern. So we're getting up there in the number of hex cells we have. Now I imagine if you were going to play this game, I guess you could start with zeros. That would be a good way to begin. You can always clear everything around the 0. I imagine what you're going to want to do is take your time playing a game like this, a lot more than what I'm doing. That you wouldn't want to play in short bursts. This is one of these games you can get on a Steam sale, the Hexcells 3-game bundle, because there's Hexcells, Hexcells Plus, and Hexcells Infinity, and you can get that for probably less than $3 if on a good sale, maybe even less than $2 if you get a really good sale. I have to remind myself which button is which. I kind of wish there was a toggle here that you could click somewhere to go into tag mode, click somewhere to go out of tag mode. Let's see, this one's only touching 2 now, so that has to be it. And this one is touching 1, and this one's touching 1. Ooh. This is no good. This is a guess. We've come across a guess. Mistakes may be made here. Because it could be this one, or it could be this one, but no, it can't be this one, can it? Because if it was this one, then this one wouldn't work. So it has to be this one, because this one's only touching that one, which means it's not that one. There we go. This one's only touching that one, which means that is the right one. There's a mistake just from the wrong click. I'm not gonna bother with going back and doing perfect mistake-free runs. It doesn't seem like it matters. Or if I do go back and do it, I'm gonna do it back on my own personal free time and not while I'm recording. Because, yeah, that's unnecessary. There we go. This is the type of game where like an "Are you sure" button really wouldn't work, unfortunately. So you end up with this. The potential for making mistakes is rather high, and you can't really correct for it. So we have 5 remaining in this area. We have to figure out for this section, what is our in? There has to be an in, and it's right here. There's only 2 hex cells putting this here. next to each other. So these both have to be part of the pattern. Which means this one, which means not that one, which means this one, which means not that one, which means not that one, which means that one, and not that one. And so we have one remaining, one in the middle. And eventually I assume what's going to happen is that we can't go any further. I made a mistake, but then it wants me to go back to the menu. And the reason why we see that it goes back to the menu is because we've done all of 1-1. And so let's just continue. I may run through this whole section, this whole game in 1 or 2 episodes. So some things have changed here. It's giving us answers. We're getting different music. Kind of going in random spots here. Clearing out sections. Like this here's 2. So we know that's good. This one's touching 2, so we know that's it. This one's 3, so we know that's it. This one's only touching 2, so it has to be that. And then that's touching that, so we know that's that. It's only touching 1, so we know that's safe. Now that's only touching 2. Our next step. This one's touching 1 already, so we can clear out everything around it. Now this one's only touching 1, which clears that out, which fixes that, which clears that out. There we go. This one here is only touching 1. That's it. Then we know that's it. And then that gets rid of those. We have 1 remaining here. This one's touching 2, so it's gotta be this. It seems like we get a few more Hexcells each time, and I don't know if I quite agree with how this system is giving us more and more each time. Because that feels like, in a lot of ways, that we are just gonna end up with a ridiculous amount of Hexcells and nothing to really do with them. Or the numbers are just gonna increase and increase for no reason. not that one, not that one, but yes to that one. Seems like we're gonna work our way all the way over here. I don't think I can solve any more from going any further this way, though. There's not enough information being presented. I need to come over here and work on this. Work our way towards the center. That one's there, so that has to be it. This one's here, so it has to be that. It kind of feels like if you could hit these and click on these at the right time, it would actually play a song and be musical. And if that was really the case, I would like it to play the song at the end of the game, at the end of each puzzle, or at least at the end of each group. Because that'd be really difficult any other way to get that to work. There's one section clear. There's not a lot to do or say about playing a game like this. It's straight up a puzzle game. As am experimenting with this time slot being more of these smaller puzzle games, it is going to be interesting trying to comment on them. Because once you have the general concept down, there's not much more you can say. I can only offer so many suggestions and so many thoughts. Let's see, that's a 2, which means that's good, which means that's safe, which means that's safe, which means this one isn't safe, and that one, and that one, and then this one, and this one. That gets that section done. We're almost done with this section too. Here's a 1, which means that. Here's a 2, which means that, and here's a 3, which means that. Those two aren't a problem. This one eliminates this one. This one nominates that one, if that would be the best term for it. Eliminate and nominate aren't antithetical terms, if that's the right word. Eliminates or includes would be the right term. So here's a 2, which includes that one. And then it's a shame about the English language. Eliminate and include don't end in the same way. You would think it would be eliminate and inclinate or something like that to make it easier to understand the roots of words, but the English language doesn't work how I want it to work ever. There you go, no mistakes. We are up to 45. So think what we'll go ahead and do is stop the recording right here. We've been going about 25 minutes. That will put us in a good position where it might go a slightly longer to do group 3 and group 4, and then it might do slightly longer than that to do group 5 and group 6, and then that's looking like that might be the end of the game right there. So Hexcells by itself is going to be a really short experience, but then we also have Hexcells Plus and Hexcells Infinite, and I am intending on covering those right after this. So anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. I end my recordings the same way each time. I ask you to like this video, I ask you to share it with your friends, I ask you to comment if you want to, and I ask you to watch every second of my videos. All that helps me with YouTube, lets YouTube know my videos are worth it. One thing I'm recognizing here is that you can't tell if you made any mistakes. So, I know I made a mistake in one of these, but with no indicator or marker, it seems like that's not even kept on record. Or if it's kept in some record, it's not being shown to you. So, I couldn't even go back and redo it if I wanted to. Then I would ask you, as I'm wrapping up, sorry, I often interrupt myself in the middle of wrapping up, to click on my name, Rydo. That'll take you to my main YouTube page. Right there is a playlist tab. You can click on that and see a playlist for every game I've ever covered. I'm sure there's something you can find that's interesting, so check out those videos. Also on my main YouTube page, before you click the playlist tab on the right is a blue button that says support this channel. If you click that and make a donation, it would be greatly appreciated. And then finally, down below in the description box, I have links to all my social media sites, so follow and friend me on things like Facebook, Twitter, Google+. You can friend me on Steam, you can friend me on Battle.net, Tumblr. If you follow me on any of the social media sites, you will see right when new videos come out, the second they come out, which is gonna be a lot more helpful for you. So, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and have a good evening.